What is happening, guys? My name is Jamie. Today we're doing the best metal album covers of 2020. Last year I also did a best metal art covers of 2019 and the winner came out to be Maguire Age of Excuse. I absolutely love that album. I love that cover. It tells a story. It's all about nihilism. Maguire Age of Excuse is an absolutely fantastic fucking album along with an amazing album cover. So I'm going to give you my top 10 art covers of 2020. And let's kick off with Fate's Warning, Long Day, Good Night. I just love the contrast. I feel seldom looking at it. And I just love how there is a house surrounded by just dark colors along with a person. Overall, I just really adore this cover. And that's why it's sitting at number 10. Next up is Azarath, Saint Desecration. Beautiful album cover. They're just really ghostly figures standing like in a cave. They're standing on a velvety robe, just very intriguing, along with ghostly hooded figures on the right hand side. It's a really beautiful art. Waterfall is in the background, also seldom at times. I wanted to listen to this album just because of this album cover. Next up is Testament, Titans of Creation. This is fantastic. I actually bought the physical copy of this album just because I fucking love this album. And I also love the artwork. The artwork is so damn good. It really is. It's like you have three godly individuals controlling a mammoth society. They look like they're in space as well. But you got Earth down the bottom in a puddle of water, which is really interesting. I just love how there is an overall concept, overlying themes about humanity and everything on Titans of Creation, but I just really enjoy the sculptly figures. It just seem like they might destroy an actual society. Awesome artwork, Titans of Creation by Testament is. Next up is Convocation, Ashes of Coalesce. This album, the album cover really drew me in. It did. The beautiful figures dancing between a velvety robe or something like that that is just arching up in the sky. And then there is a ghostly figure reaching up upon the water, which just overall creates this doomy atmosphere. You're looking at this album and you know it's either doom or death doom or even black metal. Also the clouds that are just brewing within the atmosphere. You know you're in for a bleak and seldom time listening to Convocation, Ashes of Coalesce. And that's why it's making this list. Next up is Temple Void, The World That Was. Well, when I first saw this album, I was absolutely mind blown when I saw the cover, because the cover looks absolutely amazing. It just reminds me of something out of Lord of the Rings, like something out of Mordor or something like that in the Middle Earth. There's also an Illuminati sign as well. And it just looks like a river just leading into the depths of hell and into some kind of fiery mountain. When you look at this fucking album, you swear you know it's going to be like either doom or death doom or even funeral doom. Which is really eye-catching as well, which is very eye-candy, is the illumination, the Illuminati effect, and the illumination of the orange mixed with red and blues. Just a beautiful contrast. It's got a cinematic feel, and I absolutely adore it for what it is. And you will also look upon in the distance, just miles and miles of terrain. You trying to guess what is going to happen throughout this album and what you're actually in for. So Temple Void, The World That Was, is sitting at number 6. Next up is Countless Skies Glow. This is a fantastic album cover. We're up in the sky. There are clouds just mixed upon stratocumulus clouds along with cumulus clouds building upon, like there's a storm building, but then there's a pathway. The cloud lingers like a footpath where a person right in the distance, a silhouette, is actually walking towards the sun. This album has a glowing effect, and I just also really love how cinematic this album looks. And the fucking beautiful logo on it as well. And just beautiful mix of green and blues. You know this is between sunset or even sunrise, between dawn or dusk. Next up is Ulcerate Stand and Deaf and Be Still. Now I know my buddy has his favorite album cover. It's a fucking amazing cover. And I believe he actually brought the t-shirt without actually listening to the album, just because he looked at the album and he thought, holy shit, this album's amazing. This album cover's amazing. And you know what? I agree with him. This album is amazing. And it kind of looks like a coffee swirl at first, but when you look right into it, there is a man that is looking like a god, like a sculpted god. There's a person actually within the album cover. Also has some really nice whites and blacks that just create this ripple effect as well that you don't know what you're in for. You don't know what you're in for, but the album cover is so damn eye-catching and it's eye-candy. Yeah, Ulcerate Stand of Death and Be Still is a fantastic fucking album, but it has an amazing album cover as well. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of cheating here. Next up is Dream Theater Distant Memories. This is not a studio album. This is a live album, but holy shit, I absolutely fucking love this album cover. I really do. I just love how there's an android hand holding a skull, and then you got the art cover of Metropolis Part 2 Scenes from Memory, and the faces of Nicholas and Victoria and Julian and Edward. There is the English flag. I love the overall Dream Theater logo as well. The android hand is holding the skeleton upon London. That is an amazing album cover. It really is. Come the fuck on. It is absolutely amazing album cover, and it's one of the best of the year. Dream Theater Distant Memories. Dream Theater again makes it as one of the best album covers of the year. Last year was Distance Over Time. This year it's Distant Memories. Next up is Jupiterian Protosapien coming out number 2, and what can I say? This is such a beautiful, eerie, doomy album cover. You know this is Doom just by the actual fucking cover. It's so damn good. It's like a skeleton rising from these desolate, murky, trepid grounds with just so many different colors within the actual album cover. You got a black background as a skeleton is rising from the ashes, it looks like. This also just feels like the skin is just melting away from this face. Jupiterian Protosapien is a fantastic album as well, and I just love this album cover. Next up is Atramentus and their album Stygian. This is the number 1. This is the winner of the best metal album art of 2020. This is the winner. This is an amazing cover. It really is. This tells a story. You already know it's Funeral Doom just by looking at this. This really reminds me of the Abigail Williams album cover, which wasn't the winner, but it was close up, and also the Mizmor album cover as well. I just feel like this is from the same artist. It's so damn good. The hooded figures rising up in the sky, and the hooded figures just create this such a trepid moment on this cover, not to mention a person standing upon a majestic field, and this whole album just feels massive. This whole album cover looks massive, it really does. The hooded silhouette figures are the mountains in the background, and there's nothing you can do about it. It just feels like they are the ones that control this world. They are the ones that control this world. This person is standing looking upon how scary the tsunami of hooded figures. Holy shit, this clearly tells a story, and you know this is going to be bleak, you know this is going to be majestic, you know this is going to be soul crushing. And Atramentus Stygian is my number 1 album art of 2020. So guys, I hope you did enjoy this second edition of album art. Let me know your favorites down below. Remember, this is just my opinion. You may have completely different opinions. Your list may completely be different to mine, but you know what? It's good to have different opinions now and again, especially on end of year lists. So album art 2020 is done. So I hope you did enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one.